Hi, Evan. The Super Bowl is now over. The Chiefs got a thrilling win as they win back-to-back Super Bowl championships. They win in overtime 25-22 over the San Francisco 49ers. Miko Hardman scores the final touchdown. Um, Initial thoughts on the game, Evan?
Okay, Jake, just a quick question here. I think this was the greatest Super Bowl I've ever seen in my eyes. I've been watching football since 2010. So first season was when the Packers and Steelers faced in the Super Bowl. I think this is the greatest Super Bowl I've at least ever watched. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. It was really fun to watch. I mean, the game going in overtime, obviously, and then you know. Kansas City tying it with 3 seconds left. Miko Hardman scoring the final touchdown in overtime. It was a good game.
Because there's some good contenders for sure. The Seahawks and Patriots, when Malcolm Butler had the final pick, you had
Yeah,
obviously Jordan's not here today, so we can talk about this. Obviously, we had the Falcons, the whole 28-3. That was exciting. But this one, the first half was a little slow. The defense was playing good too, so you got to give credit to that on both sides. And but ever since halftime, it turned into a barn burner back and forth. Like no idea who's going to win, and that happened for three straight quarters because the entire overtime quarter played out. So, anyways, big takeaways. This was a classic Tom Brady game from Patrick Mahomes. Let me explain what I'm saying by that. Mahomes game managed. He didn't play amazing. He made the timely throws. He made the timely runs. We're seeing that a lot more with Mahomes, especially on that 4th and 1. That's a gutsy call to have a quarterback option and run him out the side, especially against that San Francisco defense. But he didn't do much in the first half. Nobody was getting open. He had that very ugly pick in the third quarter, which I thought San Francisco was going to start, maybe even run. You can't really run away from Mahomes, but maybe they could get some serious momentum. That was a bad interception. He way overthrew Travis Kelce. Um, but he turned it on at the end. He made the timely throws. He made the timely runs. They did well with the clock, and especially in the overtime drive. You're down by a field goal, calm, cool, collected. You go score the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. He looks like he's been there and done that because he has. But anyways, I think the 49ers on their side, I think they got a little too cute, especially not even just in the second half. I know people have been talking about Christian McCaffrey, how they didn't, run him anymore. The first half too. I mean, they had plenty of opportunities. The Chiefs gave them good field position, and
I
then they
know.
they would run McCaffrey, and then they would have then Purdy throw a pass, a long 3rd and 12, 3rd and 10 pass, and it wouldn't go much of anywhere. So, but I'm not sure. Even if they didn't get too cute, I'm not sure if it matters because again, you're playing Patrick Mahomes. So what we saw Mahomes do, he probably could do more, but he didn't have to do more. And then just last thing on initial thoughts, the holding calls on San Francisco, or I guess you could say, because San Francisco had one holding call, I believe, and the Chiefs had none. And you've seen if you've been on the internet, you've seen these videos circulating of all the Chiefs holding and all that. That is pretty unfair. I think the refs. It's good to have no calls, but that's especially important when it's like pass interference and stuff like that. When it's like that's when you really want to let them play. But if it's holding, that kind of throws off the entire play because Mahomes has unlimited time then. And yeah, so I would agree. The holding calls were a little unfair, and I think the NFL is not outrageous, but I think they should take a little bit of a look at that this offseason for sure. But Jake, initial takeaways on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, first of all, prayers up to Dre Greenlaw. I hope he's ready to be with. I hope he's ready to play by week 1 or week 2 of next season. Did you see the injury he sustained running onto the field?
Yeah, number 57. I saw him pop down, and what was it? I think Warner on the 49ers. He was really upset about that. And no,
Yeah,
that's
Warner was upset. Yeah.
no, that was a heart-wrenching moment for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely was. It was a game-changing moment for the San Francisco defense. Um, and I wanted to ask you something too, Evan. There has been pictures circulating online of apparently the refs missing a illegal man downfield on the Miko Hardman game-winning touchdown. Have you seen that picture?
I have not seen that picture. I don't really like maybe they missed that play. I don't know if that one particularly matters that much. I think it was, 1st and goal. They would have got more opportunities going to second overtime. to score. But no, that one I am not aware of. I did not see that one. You'll see that time to time in the NFL. Like sometimes fall starts, especially, you'll see a tackle like move back a little bit early, and sometimes they won't call it. So it depends.
Mm,
I don't think that one changed the course of the game though that much.
yeah, same thing with holding. They won't call holding sometimes. Um, yeah, but this was a very fun game, like I said in the opening. Like I said in the opening, going to overtime, Nico Holmes scoring the final touchdown. I think that, Christian McCaffrey obviously scoring the first San Francisco touchdown. I think he played very well in this game. I think he left his heart out there on the field. It just wasn't enough for San Francisco, and unfortunately, they fell in overtime.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about Brock Purdy's game. So Brock
Yeah.
Purdy, I thought played better than I thought he was going to play. We'll put it that way. I thought the lights were going to be too bright for him. I wouldn't say that was the case. I thought he played good. Did he play enough to win them the game? Obviously not. Did they really need a touchdown on that, that first drive in overtime? Of course, that's what lost them the game. I thought he played okay. It's just going to be, especially this playoffs as a whole. We've talked about the Lions and Packer game. I wasn't a complete fan of his play. I thought he picked it up a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see if the 49ers continue to have faith in him, though. But what do you think about Brock Purdy's play, Jake?
Yeah, I think you touched on it perfectly. I think Black Purdy played better than a lot of us suspected. He made those timely throws, and I think that, yeah,
Yeah, and Debo Samuel, I know he got hurt a little bit into it. He kind
mm,
of disappeared a little bit. He had like 3 catches for 33 yards.
yeah,
Um,
George Kittle too. George Kittle too.
George Kittle did not do much. Debo actually had a couple drops too. Ayuk didn't. So they had to pull it together a little bit.
That first long touchdown to Ayuk, I think that was on like the first or second drive.
Right. Yes, that's true. Um, okay. So last thing I want to ask about, Jake, is the overtime rules. Because obviously they changed this. Everyone's been talking about this. They changed it 2 years ago when the Bills and Chiefs were in the AFC divisional, back and forth game. And the Josh
Yeah,
Allen
because
did.
The Bills were huge crybabies about that game.
They were, but that's what I want to talk about. Is it? Do you think
Okay.
that is being a crybear? Because I used to be under the circumstance that if you can't stop them, you don't deserve to win the game, right? But now we live in such an offensive world with the Josh Allens and the Mahomes and the Joe Burrows and the Lamar Jacksons and all those, that it's almost like it's an offensive game. We should cater it to the offense. But what do you think? Do you like
No,
the
I
OT rules?
no, I mean I get it. I get what the Bills were saying. They should have a chance to have the ball in overtime. I get it. Like you were talking about offensive games. I get it. Both teams should have a chance to get the ball in overtime. Um, so they change. So, um, yeah, I totally get what the Bills were saying.